Live. Okay, awesome. Well, welcome, ladies, to August 4th Thursday training. Tonight, my name is Rebecca. For those of you who don't know me from the P3T team, I am one of Kylene's downline, one of her direct downline, and I have a small but growing team in P3T. So tonight's training I was going to do is kind of about customer relationships. And how to kind of foster, how to build those, how to foster those. And even if you don't really have like a business or sales background, if having customers in your life is kind of new, which is for me. Having clients and customers is not something that I'm used to. So I think at first I didn't quite know how to talk to customers, how to, so that's the thing that I have been working on for the past few months, and is something that some of the stuff I might say tonight might be stuff that you're like, oh, of course I know that, but the first few months I didn't, so I figured that's really what training should be. Things that we're sharing experiences and we're doing things differently than we used to, things like that. So the first thing I want to kind of talk about was how I have kind of started doing sampling for customers. I do a couple different types of sampling. I've done the pay it forward sampling, which is when you already ask some established customers, you ask friends and family who already know you, know your customer service, know your product, to recommend and to kind of nominate friends of theirs to get products. It might be people who they just know would love skincare products. It might be people, oh, hey, Tammy, thanks for joining. I'm going to mute you real quick so we don't keep bouncing screens. But I'll also unmute people for later because we can kind of share and talk towards the end. So it's not personal. So I got the idea to pay it forward from one of Kylene's events a while ago. So that's the type of sampling that I do. They might be nominated because they like skincare, or they are looking for, vegan skincare, or skincare that's sustainable and affordable. Really up Pasha's ask. It might be because they have gone through a rough time. They just had a breakup. They had something going on. And they just need a little pick-me-up, right? So I've had pay it forwards that way. That is the type of sampling that I usually do, just kind of random samples. So I will try to do face. I will try to do body. Right here. I'll try to do kind of things for hands, like a big fat yummy. I'll do a face, I'll do like a cleanser, mask, moisturizer if I have that, and I'll do some sort of body component. I often do like the buy 5 get 1 free. I try to do 5 to 6 to represent that. That's sometimes what you guys would like consider deluxe sample packs. I do those for pay it forwards usually to get that full pampering, you deserve it experience. Sometimes I keep it anonymous. If the person who nominates the pay it forward recipient wants to be anonymous, I do that. If it's like from your friend Stacy, if she's like cool with that, I will do that. So it kind of depends on my current customer, and that really helps with the customer relations with who you already have. It helps only, improve that and build that, but it also helps potentially get a new customer. And if not, you just help someone out. You had a good day. You help them have a good day, and you kind of spread Posh. So pay it forward is the first type of sampling that I do. I also do sampling for new customers. So if I get a new contact from a party, from Facebook, I will then talk to them. And I'll try to custom make samples. And that's something I used to not do. I used to, when I first started out, kind of give almost everyone the same sample. And I no longer do that because I've had some people ask for specific things, and it's made me like seek them out and seek out certain products for the samples. So basically, I would ask them like what they want to fix, what they want to improve, allergies, skin types, budgets, things like that. And that helps me kind of design new sample packs for those new customers who will hopefully be kind of continuing long-term customers who then would maybe nominate a pay it forward, who then maybe have a party, who then maybe join my team. That's certainly happened, and the people who I've done custom sample packs have then been like, this is so awesome. Not only are you a nice consultant, hopefully they think that, but Posh is really customizable. It's very personable. It's very personalized. They're two of my main branding components where I want to be a personable person, a personable consultant, and also someone who really personalizes the pampering experience. So those are things that are really important. In my brand, And then people like that. People want to party with you. People want to sign up under you. So that's something that I've really found has been helpful, customizing those sample packs and not making them feel so generic. Then then after I send those sample packs, I try my very best, as always happens, to record who gets what. I record samples like I would record sales because that way we can follow up. Hey, it's not like, hey, did you like your samples? It's like, hey, did you like your BFF? Is it really the kind of exfoliating cleanser you were looking for, or are you looking for something else? Now, of course, BFF is kind of one of our only cleansers besides All of My Love now, so that was kind of a comment back for the CP BFFF days that we had. So like maybe I'll say, oh, did you really like the hydrating mask, or are you looking for something that might have a bit of an exfoliant? That kind of question. So I will really engage with them about the follow-up. So you hear about follow-up. Follow-up with samples is really important, and it's not just to sell the things that you sampled, it's to really check on what they liked, and things like that. So recording is really important for that reason. I don't want to just be really vague to them because I don't want them to be vague to me. If I said, do you like your samples? They might say yes. That's it. And that's not bad, but it's also not really a conversation I want to have. So if I say, you know, oh, do you like your BFF, and did you really get that hydration from Stay Gold? They could then just say yeah, and you know, you can't always help that. But they could also say, oh yeah, Stay Gold is a lot more mild than I thought, but you know, I really want something kind of detoxifying. Do you have that? And I'll say, okay, Cackle Spot. And we can kind of have that conversation. So the more specific, sorry, don't stop it. The more specific that you are, the more specific feedback you usually get, which kind of ties into a second part of my training tonight, which is like kind of was a eureka moment for me. We'll get to that. But the more specific you put out there in your product reviews, in your samples, in your questioning, in your follow-up, the more that they will just want to not say, yeah, yep, no, thanks, sure, bye, whatever. Another reason why I do the cataloging of samples, the recording of samples, is I don't send them the same thing twice. I want to, you know, that's kind of just, I'm not the most business savvy, but I'm trying to think, okay, should I keep sampling out something? If they love it, they should just buy it. So I kind of keep a track of who I've sent what to have that specific follow-up. And then to say, like, oh, hey, you know, that Never Grow Up serum's on sale this week, which it is for $20. You really love that. This might be a good time to get that. I know who I sent Never Grow Up to. I know who I sent Stay Gold to. So I try to keep the best track of that as I can. Like I said, I'm not always perfect. I don't always do that, but I do try to get that because then I know not only who I've sent samples to, so I know who to send new catalog samples to, but I know who I've sent what to for that specific follow-up, the personalized attention, and I'll say, hey, has that helped with your breakouts? You were kind of concerned that Never Grow Up would be a bit oily before bed. How does that, you know, so you can, like I said, it's for customer services, it's to make them feel like it's really personalized, but also on my end, just kind of business savvy. I think of, you know, you do sometimes once in a blue have that customer or the potential customer who wants like 4 samples of the same thing, and it's like, maybe they should just, you know, if they love it, then you say, oh, if you love it, then I would like, this is a great deal, you should get it now, or whatever. So I keep track of that to not double up. For their own, like sometimes customers might be like, oh, I already got this sample, like that's annoying, I would love something new. And also just on my end to make sure I'm not sending out the same samples to the same people, the chronic samplers, things like that. So that's really the main 3 that I do for sampling. The random samples to pay it forward. Those also can be for like the birthday samples. I know Posh challenged us last month to check your Facebook birthdays in July. Who has a birthday coming up? Who has a graduation coming up, who has a baby shower, who has a new house, a new move, whatever. Those can kind of be what I would consider kind of the random, have a great day, I'm poshing you, love you kind of things. And then the new customers, like I said, if we've had conversations, I like keeping track of those for like their own specific, you know, wants, needs. I want something for aging, but I'm also getting breakouts. What do you recommend? That's what I really try. And then the ones that I have the most continuity with, returning customers who are like, just this week, I want blueberry. I want this, you know, you have that kind of follow up, and you said, oh, well, remember in February, the month I started, I sent you X. Well, I think you love that. You've bought it since. Don't forget it's on sale, maybe certain weeks. And then also, I think you'd really like our new mask. Y. So it's really like I'm kind of anally neurotic about stuff like that. So I really like keeping track so I can have that conversation. It's just like it's good to write down their birthdays. You can remind them about their perks. You can about their birthday perks. You can do a little perk yourself. You can do a shout out on your page. You can tag, say happy birthday, girl. Hope you take some time out to pamper yourself. This is just good customer relations. So, birthdays, and there's a great place on our virtual office to not only write their addresses, but to write down their birthdays, write down their, like, what they've bought in the past, what they've asked you about in the past, things they love, things they don't love. Maybe you have a girlfriend who hates coconut. She hates it. So if you have a new, like, let's say Good Vibes wasn't only coconut, but there's enough coconut in Good Vibes, our Big Fat Yummy from the last catalog, that she'd hate it. So if you would see her, saying, oh, how's Good Vibes? It's like, I love it, but I know you wouldn't like it. It's coconut. What you would love is this. So it's a really good way to kind of build those customer relationships. Good notes. If you're someone who has amazing memory, you may not need to write it down. If you're a paper and pen person, put it in your planner. If you're more of an online kind of note-taking person, whatever system works best for you, I find, just do that. That's what I do. If you're, so sometimes I make notes in paper, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I lose paper, so it's kind of not good. So I keep these notes in like a spreadsheet. I think there's some really good trainings coming up, not only in Prep Academy for organization. Sorry, that's my dog. But also the Action Academy for those of you who have passed your 90 days and are pink. There's great trainings for like using Google. We're using Google right now, so Google can be your friend. Okay, so that's like the first thing I want to talk about in terms of sampling and kind of business building with customer relations. Any questions so far? I know I'm going kind of fast. I'm in my classroom mode, trying to get things. No? You guys can definitely share any kind of questions or comments on the white chat. For those of you on mobile devices, it might not show up, but on laptops and desktops, whatever, it's usually over here. We can kind of go through those when I'm kind of done giving some of the points and we can interact. Something else that I really love about Posh and helps with customer relations is that things are so interchangeable. And what I mean by that is for years, we'd go to beauty counters and they'd say, well, you have to, get the Clinique set or get the Mary Kay set, or you see sets being sold through Roden and Fields and Arbonne. And I'm not trying to diss those companies. I think all those are really great. What I love about Posh is that you can totally mix and match. And this is a perfect example from a conversation I had with a customer who's now a really great customer of mine. She's referred her friends. She's super active on my page. She's looking at Never Grow Up. And I sent her samples, even though it wasn't part of my usual sample repertoire, because she specifically requested it. And she actually sort of started my customizable sample thing. She's like, oh, Never Grow Up serum. I guess I'll have to get the cream to go with it. And I said, yeah, those are really great to use together, but you don't have to. I know some people who use the serum at night, impish eyes in the morning, and 911, at both night and the morning. So you can do, in the morning you could do impish eyes or caffeinator, and then new moisturizer 911. You can use Never Grow Up at night. You can kind of mix and match. That's the beauty of Posh. And she's like, really? I don't have to get, I wouldn't have to get BFF at night and day. I said no. I mean, they go really well together. They're both part of our Look Natural line. They're like kind of some of the most stripped down products we have. They have great essential oils. And so I told her about those. I said, but hey, if you really like orange and don't love lavender, use moisturize 911. And it kind of she seemed relieved by that. And I never really had clicked for me before that people feel pressured to buy sets, to buy kits, and you don't have to do that with Posh. And it's not even something that they pressure you. I mean, yeah, sure, the Never Grow Up will say best results with an N-Ben, they recommend shampoo, conditioner, but I use vitamin C, and I'll use Offshore Restore, and I'll use like the N-Ben spritz, and it's all great. So I think, ironically, when you tell customers that, she ended up buying both. She bought the Never Grow Up serum and the Never Grow Up cream. But but she is like, I'm getting these because I want them, but I don't feel like I have to get them. I feel like you didn't like, upsell me on, oh, if you get this, then this is like its sister product and you have to get them together. She chose to put those together. She chose that. So it's really important. And I was just kind of going through my medicine cabinet recently, and I was throwing away like old cosmetics and old skincare products, partly because of Posh, also just time and whatever. And I realized I had so much stuff I didn't use because I just like felt that they had to go together. So it's really something that kind of goes into, at least in my conversations with customers, the personalization of Posh. They can mix and match products. You can mix and match chunks. I know in the newest catalog, let me grab one here. You can see my I sort of have Posh going on today with my black and white. They have a really cool, I know Katie mentioned this in chat, I saw that this morning, on page 8 and 9, they have the chunks pair of scrubs that work really well, but you don't have to. That's the beauty, and I like how they did pair Blissed Out and Sorry Not Sorry, which sounds amazing together, but let's say you're not a big fan of honey, and you love citrus. There's nothing about Posh that makes it feel forced. And Posh does a great job of not forcing on their end from like a corporate kind of end in terms of like things that are bundled together in kits. I mean, we had the Posh and Me, but now more than ever, it's customizable, which I absolutely love. You can get your own Big Fat Yum, you can get your own chunk, your own lip balm. Absolutely love that. So there's really not that pressure on the company's end. So I like how we can kind of express ourselves in the way where we can recommend different combinations. Like, I really like Stay Gold after Crackle Spackle. I really like how I can hydrate after a detox. Just today, and I did on my VIP page, I did a review, I did Giving Me Life, and I did the blueberries right after. I kind of just wanted to try both masks, so I was super excited. But it's a good way, you can kind of pair and stack your products in a way that's interesting to you. You can certainly recommend combinations. You can say, there's just variability. And as soon as customers see that, I found that they don't feel pressured to get certain things together that they may not use. They may only want the Never Grow Up serum. Maybe they have a favorite moisturizer that they don't want to part with. That's fine. Maybe they don't really want as much eye, neck, kind of mouth, whatever, target areas, but they really want a good, thick, moisturizing but not greasy night cream. Then just get the Never Grow Up, like, brain fart, sorry. Just get the Never Grow Up cream. So I really love that about Posh. Same thing with the oils. You could use the Olive My Love cleanser and not necessarily the night oils. So this is something that I'm sure some other people might say always sell together, but I have noticed in conversations people are relieved that things aren't coupled. Maybe they don't want an oil moisturizer, but they want an oil cleanser. That's the beauty of Posh, and communicating that and saying what you've used is really a big deal, because it kind of makes customers feel the freedom to customize their own stuff. Lots of them are new to Posh, and they feel like we are the experts, and it is our job to become very well versed on the ingredients. I know the new catalog, we're all working on that right now, but it's impossible to have every skin type. So that's why we asked in the group. This group is so awesome for asking, oh, hey, I have a customer who has aging skin or has aging skin concerns, but also has breakouts. She gets like a pimple once in a while, but she's 50. What do I do? Not all of us have the experience, but we're all here as a team. And when you go back to customers saying you could try this product or this one, I can send you samples, I can customize your experience, that has proven to be really big with me and some of my teammates, because people feel like you are checking in not as just a consultant who's trying to hit certain sale marks, which we all are. We're trying to hit certain goals, but we care about them and their experience, and we treat them as individual kind of customer profiles and not putting them kind of just into certain categories. So really customizing that, and that was a customer who, I don't know if she knows this, I probably should tell her, really opened up that world to me when she was so excited about not having to buy both, and not feeling pressured to buy both. Then she ended up buying both, and she loves them. And then she also does Whole Lava Love. She's like, my routine is whole lot of love and then never grow up. And I'd have never thought that combo. She loves it. She posted my VIP page, did a picture, did a review, and that was all because she felt like she could combine different items. So that's been really, really helpful to me with my building my business, to kind of have that sampling and also the different types of samples, and also to kind of talk to customers and let them know that this is all about them. Posh is to make their own pampering experience and not to have it feel forced, not to have them feel like they have to buy items that they don't want to or can't or have no interest in using, and really the specifics of like customizing their experience. So that's kind of a couple of the main points I wanted to get at. Another thing that I want to talk about tonight that ties these kind of together is how I came to sort of my branding as personalized and personable. So for those of you who don't know me that well, I'm a teacher. That's my day, well, not necessarily right now. That's my day job. And Posh is what I'm doing to kind of help supplement, and it's really fun for me. I like the products myself. I did a little mask today just to kind of relax for tonight because I was a little nervous. Even though I'm in front of a lot of people all the time with teaching, it's not often recorded. I'm not looking at myself all the time. So a little stressed out. And I, pampered myself with the product, so absolutely love it. But I always think of, I know how many of us in this team have other jobs, other full-time jobs, other part-time jobs from home. So using those skills and seeing that those skills are transferable are really important to me. So I thought something fun that we could do. You tell my teacher I'm giving you guys like an assignment. Oh well, don't hate me. I did kind of a list of, you can do 2 to 3, you don't have to do a lot, 2 or 3 things that you like about your non-Posh venture. It can be being a teacher, working in an office, being a stay-at-home mom, whatever you do, what do you like about that? And what do you like about that particular job, calling, vocation? Because once you write down some of those things, you realize that you can kind of really transfer those skills into Posh. So one of my favorite things about being a teacher is the one-on-one. I love it. And yes, it's, classes of 25, 30, it's getting bigger as our education system gets less funding, a whole other discussion for a whole other day, but I love working one-on-one with students. So I thought, well, how can I bring that love of one-on-one into Posh? I don't know if I can. It's sales. I don't make the products. I just sell the products. Then I realized, oh no, I can, because I can make for my branding personable and personalized. And I got really excited. And so then I, talk to people online about Posh, like I talk to students in my office. I give them really specific feedback. Like my students, I give Posh customers or Posh potentials, whether it's a potential customer, potential hostess, a potential recruit. I give them lots of specific information, and I customize the comments to them. Just like not every student has the same learning style, not every customer has the same shopping style, right? So that's one of my favorite things about my job that I could transfer into that. So I don't know if you guys want to take a few minutes and list a couple things, just kind of bullet points, things that you like about whatever job you do. And it can be any job, like mine's being a dog mom. My dog is destroying something right now. Hope she's not too loud. Being a dog mom, can you hear her? I hope not. She's like tearing up a box. She's being quiet and destructive, which is better than loud and destructive. Whatever vocation you enjoy, think about things that why you like that. Whether it's freedom of making your own schedule, whether it's having control over your earning potential, whether those things you can have in Posh. And if it's not, for me, in all fairness, mine was like, ooh, one-on-one relationships. That's kind of perfect. Direct sales is kind of made for one-on-one relationships. Boom, done. Some of these might be harder, but that's something we can work on together as a team, and how we can transfer certain skills and transfer certain affinities in our job to Posh. Then what I do is I wrote a couple things down about things I didn't like about my job. Now I love my job, but there's some things you don't like. Some of those maybe you don't have the room for growth that you want. Some may be that you have an 8 to 3 or 9 to 5 schedule. And those things you might want to reflect on and then see how Posh kind of offers the antidote to those. So this is my goal, not for you to kind of get down on your job, but just today at work, I know we've been kind of like, oh, new catalog, oh, changes, oh, pro pay card. Posh does all those decisions for us. I was at work, and like when you're at work, I have a summer job outside of in education, but in education, like doing management stuff, and doing administrative management, curricular design. And I'm like, oh, someone come just tell me what to do. Someone say you have to use this card. It's only $8 a year. It'll be great. You can manage your business. It'll be amazing. Just here. I want someone to come tell me that. So about Posh, I like that they give you lots of support, but they also give you freedom. So I think this is really helpful because so many of us have outside jobs besides Posh, and so many of us are maybe transitioning from other jobs into Posh. So that's why I kind of want to do this as a business building activity today, in addition to what I kind of thought about with sampling and customer relationships. The more you think about how other jobs, and like being a stay-at-home mom, I'm not a mom, so I can't even imagine how much patience it requires, but sometimes it's difficult. Like there's shipping issues maybe, or maybe there's a customer who won't give you any kind of feedback on their samples, or I don't know what, oh, your snarky bar came all kind of like messed up because of the, traveling in the hot, upstruck. There's times we need patience. You learn patience being a mom. You can kind of apply that to Posh. So if you guys wanted to, maybe do a couple of those, and if anyone would be so bold as to maybe share a couple of those aspects of what they have done or traits they have that they value outside of Posh and how they plan on bringing it into Posh, I think that would be kind of thing fun to do for a few minutes. Who might be game to do that? Let me know in the chat. You guys can type in the chat. And then I can unmute whoever wants to kind of share, and then maybe if you have, oh, I have these, attributes that I like about my current job, my current employment situation. How do I bring this into Posh? Maybe the rest of us can maybe help you to do so. Melissa, Margot, Kylene, Justine, Dina, Kristen, Charlie, and Ginger. Kylene said she can't unmute. Okay, maybe I should unmute. I don't know if I can unmute you either, Kylene. I'm trying. Oh, okay. Okay, so I can't. Okay, I'm trying. I cannot. So I was using. Okay, Kylene, that's why I was using my phone, but not. Like sometimes phones, computers can kind of create this weird cross noise. Okay, so I can't. Kylene can't be unmuted. She's a pretty dandelion. It's our team logo. Anyone else who wants to maybe share an idea that they had? Or just in general, sharing about maybe like how you guys have approached customer relations, things you've had questions with, customers who maybe go, or potential customers who you feel like are kind of on the cusp. You're on the cusp of like having a hard time. I mean, I don't obviously have all the answers for customers, but a lot of people on this, conversation could. If you don't want to go on camera, you can totally. What's happening? I can unmute you guys. Okay, so what I want you guys to maybe think about is two, three, even one kind of aspect of something that you like from your current job and how you maybe bring that into Posh. Like mine was that, and this probably didn't make the question very clear. Mine was I really like the personal attention that I have with students, and I was wondering how I could kind of bring that into a world where I don't have lots of in-person contact. Like I don't really do lots of in-home parties for myriad reasons. So I have lots of my customer relationships online. So how can I bring one-on-one into Facebook? How can I customize that? So that was an example of a skill that I brought from my non-posh job into my posh job. So I was wondering, and I never really thought of it before, that they kind of synced up. So like something that I really love about a job that's not posh can be brought into a job that I do love, posh. Um, Conversely, if you don't like a lot about your job right now, your non-posh job, then maybe something that you feel like posh can give you that your job, like I did like a T-chart for teachers out there. I did a T-chart, things that you like, that you want to continue into a posh career, things that you don't like that you want to change in your posh career. But okay, so Kylan said, as a doula, I've loved supporting and nurturing women and helping them realize how amazing they are. And now I'm going to do that with Posh too, with both my customers and my downline. Exactly. So it's something where, you know, there are differences obviously between being a doula and being a Posh consultant. There's differences between being a teacher and being a Posh consultant, but there is connections, but there are connections too, right? So for me, it was like kind of customizing the one-on-one, really specific feedback, specific questioning, and very intentional personalized sampling. Just like I give intentional personalized feedback for students and their own learning styles. For Kylene, it's like empowering women. We're included in that. Okay, awesome, Dina. Want me to unmute you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. I'm going to mute my, yeah.
I am a nurse, but now I'm in the insurance field, so I don't really have any customer or patient interaction. So I like Posh because it lets me have that one-on-one personalized service with them to help them pick products and things like that. So that's a little different from what you asked, I guess, but
No, just in general. Like that's a job you used to work as a nurse. You said, Dina.
I do work as a nurse, but not in the clinic or hospital anymore. More a desk job,
Gotcha.
insurance-wise.
So that's actually exactly what I was kind of asking you guys, because that's a skill that you really love in that one field, and you might miss that because of your current like
Position.
within healthcare, and now you get to do that. That's awesome. Posh fills that
Void, yeah.
exactly. Yeah, you're that's exactly right, Dina. That's so awesome. Okay, Gina, you're Bayside Ward, right? Ginger, I'm sorry, Ginger, you're Bayside Ward? Okay. Someone said something about organization skills and sports job. I didn't catch who said that. Charlotte, did you talk about organizational skills in a sports job? That was one of, no, okay. Caroline said also, I also love helping women start businesses and launch financially sustaining careers they love, and now I get to train a big team of amazing women with Posh. It's like my doula mentorship program. I've had for years, only times 100. Business skill development is my gym. I love that, Dina. You're a great person, which makes Posh perfect for you. Awesome. Anyone else want to? Let me see what's going on here with this. Oh, hello. There's something else going on here. Hey, Charlie, let me go back here. Charlotte? Yeah, for some reason, your comment's not showing up on the main thread. So Charlotte said, I can bring my organization for my job in sports with me because I have to do constant inventory and keeping up with injuries. Absolutely. So was that something that you enjoyed in the sports field? That's something that you enjoyed doing, so you think that's a great transferable skill. That's really cool. So that's an example of something that might even help you like Posh even more, because like, oh, this reminds me of something I love doing in my job, and I can kind of translate. So kinda, I love the players. Yeah, well then your players are like your customers. So there's a great analogy going on there. So Charlie, you're super organized. So you'd be all up in like, you know, reporting who gets what sample. This is so cool. Yeah. So this is something that I want to kind of pose this question because it's something that's always made me think. I am not a salesperson. I have no business background. believe it or not. So I'm of course I would talk about customer relations. But I think it's why it's important that I picked this, because I'm not coming at it from any kind of formal marketing background, any formal shopping background, except I do quite a bit of amateur, any kind of formal business background, but lots of us don't. So we want to build those customer relationships, and Kylie, yeah, definitely business skill development is her jam, as we all know by being on Kylie's awesome team. But we all can kind of have our own styles, and they can be influenced from our non-posh jobs. As we get more involved in posh, the time may shift. We might do more stuff with posh. Like, that's obviously totally fine, but it's something that we can really help connect. Like Dina gave that awesome example of, she was missing that one-on-one connection, so she did do that more in posh than she would in her non-posh job. Same thing, Charlie. I'm like just going back and forth so I can see Charlie's comment. I'm an organized chaos. Yeah, you and me both, Charlie. I'm an organized chaos as well. Yeah, so that's the thing I want to just, and I'll also like pose this question when the video is posted in P3T. Maybe I'll kind of post, think of a skill you have learned in your non-posh career and how it translates to posh, and hopefully the women who didn't log in today could do that. You can tag your team. You can certainly say like, oh, hey, I have actually quite a few teachers on my team, and that might be a coincidence, I don't know. But we can kind of we sometimes talk about how posh is different from teaching in a good way, how it's similar to teaching in good ways. So it's fun to kind of share that and see how those skills kind of transfer, right? Like the big takeaway that I have on my notes from today is we need to bring in who we are to Posh. Like, Posh is a great company. They give us these amazing catalogs. They give us great samples. They give us tools. They give us perks. They give us Prep Academy training, Action Academy training as we move up leadership, and Silver Academy. They give us, adorable samples. They give us so much, right? And it's really, so it's a company that gives us much, but we also want to and need to personalize it. So it's kind of, in a way, piggybacks on Kylene's branding video that she did a couple weeks ago, where we kind of want to carve our own place within Posh, think of adjectives that help describe us. So that was the intent of my exercise in terms of bringing skills. It can be skills that you enjoy, that you bring into Posh, that can help enhance your Posh career, or it can just be skills that you have learned from your job. Maybe you never really liked being organized, you never that organized, but your job has forced you, kind of, in Charlotte's situation, she has to keep track of injuries and inventory and probably medication and wraps and bandages. That requires lots of organization, and maybe you love it, maybe you don't, but that's going to make you such an organized, Posh person, right? So I think it's just important for us to think about those things, because Posh is such a big part of many of our lives, not only the relationships that we form between each other and the team, but our customers, in some cases, our income, our apartments or houses are maybe being taken over by Posh. But it's something that we really, want to build based on our experience. Does anyone else want to share what they can bring in from their non-Posh careers to help kind of build their Posh business? Let's see if I go back to the other chat. Make sure I didn't miss anything. I think it's good. I think I didn't miss anything. Does anyone have any questions for me in terms of like customer relationships, things I do with sampling, conversations I have with customers in my group? You guys are good? Margaret, I repeated the question, but I probably complicated it a bit more. But does that make more sense now? Okay. Good, awesome. Okay, so this I thought it'd be a fun kind. It really made me think, and it made my branding not say physical branding, because I know Kylie talks a lot about that graphics and colors, and I'm kind of changing some things with that. But since it's a new catalog, a new season, there's no better time to kind of think about our businesses and think, what do I want to bring to business, and what kind of skills can I bring into that? I had one more beat before signing off here. Let me see. And it was, oh shoot. Let me look at the one new message I have here. Do you have a Google Docs form for customized samples? I don't actually have a Google Docs form for customized samples. That's something I might want to consider, but I'll think about that. I really have just the conversations. I will do long chats, and I'll say, how about this product? What are you looking for? Sometimes they'll come with very specific ideas. I've had some people who hate strong scents that helps me filter, but it's really very conversational. And that is probably kind of old school of me, and that's absolutely yeah, absolutely. So I'm like trying to do things. Apparently, I can't multitask. And it's absolutely totally up to you how you want to do that. Google Forms or a conversation. I feel like conversations are very personalized, and it's not like picking things. But I also, Charlie, define myself as being an organized chaos. And that's also, I guess, part of my brand running inadvertently. So that's something that you could definitely set up. And I know they have a great Google Docs training in Action Academy in the first day of Action Academy. So it's a small plug there for that. I don't know why I'm plugging our own company, but I am. So that's something that I would definitely consider doing, but I just love the kind of the long form communication. I do with lots of my students. I know, like plugging Action Academy, like I get something from that. We all get something from that. Kind of like, definitely do the academies. Yeah, Prep Academy was so great. When I was done, I was like, what else can I do? And there's nothing else I could do at that point. I had finished in 60, 90. I got pink within that time. And then Colin's like, you're good. Go to the Posh Box, do Tuesday trainings, go to YouTube, all helpful. But I just like competing, so like I want more academies, and now we have them, and that's amazing. Let me just switch over to Charlie real quick. Because yeah, is there a timeline, Kristen? Is there a timeline you use for follow-ups after giving samples? Yeah, I try to do follow-ups within a week of getting samples. I know mail is kind of wonky, so I hate the pressure to like, you get your sample, you love your sample, and because we've had that conversation about skin concerns, maybe I want them to use it for a couple times. I mean, if they use you need to sometimes see a change in skin, or you sometimes need to make sure there's not a breakout or not a reaction. So I'll usually do about a week or so. I'll follow up, just make sure they got it. I mean, I have tracking a lot, so I can kind of make sure it didn't like just be stagnant at some post office in the middle of nowhere. But I'll kind of check in and say, and then that's where the specifics come in. Not just did you get them, do you like them, but hey, I know you're concerned about that. Did you get a chance to use it? Did you get a chance to see any kind of differences? So it's usually about like a week or so. I try. You can definitely do sooner, especially if they're not sent. If you give someone, and you physically give it to them. I build in mailing time and people checking the mail, especially in summer, they're away a lot. So I kind of build a little more time into that. Margot, I'm definitely thinking more about it now, as you kind of sort of tell. I have Googled. I actually have people. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, allergy is really good. I've seen Margot's Google Doc. That's really awesome. I definitely do allergies, but sometimes the people will. Allergies are super important, but it's also just people sometimes don't like something. Like they just hate X scent. And we all know people who do that. I actually don't hate any scent pretty much. I used to think I didn't like coconut, then Posh completely changed my mind. I'm not a big personally. I don't really need samples to buy things. I will buy a lot of things without samples. I do not expect my customers to do so, so I definitely sample with them. But it's something where I'm like game to try anything. But yeah, allergies are excellent. You asked Margot, does it have a spot to put what you have sent people for samples? Ginger, yeah, I do not have that part, but I know for a fact I will mark up a calendar for them and so for the ingredient list and product of what has ingredients they're allergic to. Absolutely, yeah. So if you do that'd be awesome to just really make sure. And conscious transparency takes so much stress away from us in that regard because it lets us know all the ingredients and Yeah. At some point, I'm sure one of us will do like a more of a product info video, trying us really more into that. But yeah, absolutely. Anything else I didn't ask?
I want to mention the fact that actually I have two customers. One actually is allergic to peppermint, and it sets off into an asthma attack, and saying she's not sure about spearmint. So that's one thing you have to think about is, what is in what category and what can also be in a potential category.
Absolutely.
And then I have another customer who's allergic to berries, like
Oh
very
wow.
berries, and then most of this catalog is like berries. So
Yeah.
it's like something you really have to think about when you tailor to the customer. You also want to make sure that they also have a wide variety of options.
Absolutely, and that's also very accessibility friendly too. People have allergies, people have skin conditions. That's part of the conversation as well, for sure. Um, People will generally not. I shouldn't say generally for anything. People will sometimes initiate that, but I've also had a friend of mine who has celiac, and she has a gluten she can't process gluten, and she has no product problems with our products. We don't really have gluten or soy fillers. We do have some gluten in products, but she's like, oh, as long as I don't ingest it, I'm okay. It's on the surface. Of course, everyone's different, so you always want to be careful. Always, and also, just for any skin type, doing like the sample here, doing a sample here. It's the more sensitive skin. It's always good to test those areas, but absolutely, there's like allergy families. And you always want to ask, and that's why the team's so helpful too, to be like, hey, someone had this allergy, what do we do? Someone has this skin condition, and that's why we're so awesome that way. um, Dina, how do you start that off in your group? Do you just do a general post asking who likes samples? Absolutely, I absolutely do. I do general posts um, to break the ice, and some people just will be like, me, 2 letters, me. And so I'll follow up with them. I'll do calls for samples during my live Facebook videos, and I'll say either throw a comment in the video or PM me. I will do sample calls in parties, and then sometimes also consultants give me a list of people who they think would be interested in this product. Then I kind of go from the larger group, which is like also a class of analogy, into the smaller kind of chats, and that's how I usually initiate that. But there's lots of different creative ways of doing that. And then the Google form is a good way to certainly initiate samples, and then once you have their information, you can always then um, reach out to them and have more of that one-on-one, more in-depth conversation, and obviously that really specific, if they're open to it, in-depth follow-up. Um, awesome. Well, I set it for an hour, so we might be getting cut off soon. I really want to thank all of you. Did I miss any comments or any questions? Kristen, I got the follow-up. Charlie, I think I got yours. I did not. Charlie, Ginger, I think I got everyone's. I like a couple too many windows open. But thank you so much for welcoming me to host a Thursday training. Like I said, this will be posted on the YouTube page, on our group page. And if you guys have any more thoughts about those transferable skills from your job, then please put them in the comments and tag your team. Tag your downline, and I would love some more participation on this. Thank you. You guys are awesome. And I have no gum, Margot. White background, no playing with hair. Woo! I'm really trying. Everyone's videos are so helpful. We build on videos. We build on other training videos. Okay, so you ladies have a great night. And I will. Woo! Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm so happy. I'm going to go off live. I'm going to shut this down, I guess, post in the group. And I would love any kind of PMs, questions, start those conversations. I'm totally open to that, and I would love that. Okay, happy poshing, ladies. Have a great night. Bye.